Hello everyone who is on PIMO'S Education Service, our YouTube channel where academic content flows. Today, it's me Sempija Dennis to take you through the introduction of Microsoft Access Database, the application of Microsoft which sorts, creates, and manipulates data or information of an organization's institutions, the major. Within a database, we are going to look at field names, data type, field property. Let us dive on our PC and we see green, it's the cursor. So you put it in the empty space where there is nothing. After you go to those one who are using desktops, you have a mouse. So on that mouse there is three buttons. There is a right button, left button, and the scroll bar in the middle. So when we are creating using a mouse, you right click, you go to your mouse and you right click the way I'm right clicking. Those one with the laptop, on the forward touchpad of your computer, there is buttons. So this button, there is one of right button and the left button. So you go to the right button, you do the same. You right click. After right clicking, you will get this dialog box on your screen with word new, short, whatever phrase. But what we are interested in, you go up to the word new. You go up to the word new. You write. The moment you put a cursor in the word new, it will bring the right dialog box on the side of that box. So you click on the word new to stabilize that right prompt. Now, and you move the cursor to this side drop down box, the box that has appeared with very many files. So we are interested in creating a folder. You go direct on top of the dialog box, there is the word folder. So you click on the word folder. After clicking on the word folder on your desktop or the screen, you will see the the icon. You will see the icon in the form of an envelope. Discuss envelopes with the small box below. Within the small box there is a word. There is a word new folder with a blue background. So we have to rename this folder. You give it a name. Those one who are like a student, those like students, you will find like if you are answering this question in your exams, the name of the folder will be provided in a question. You will read the question, interpret it, understand, and you will find certain element in a question telling you that you create a folder in in these names or the other name or call it so. So here we have to give the folder name. And when this word new folder is in blue color, you just write there and then the name you want to give the folder. So for me, I'm going to call it data. After giving it the name, you there is very many ways of opening it, because after renaming it, what is next is to open the folder. In opening the folder, we can use enter. You double click the key button on your keyboard. That enter button, you click it twice, but 2 times, or you left click on your mouse 2 times. Again, those one with the computer, on your touchpad, you double click on it to open the folder. Like what I'm saying. If you come to your mouse, double click on the left button, the folder will open. Or alternatively, you can go, you bring the cursor again here, you select, you tap on the folder, you go to your keyboard, there is a enter button, you enter key, you double click on it. Once you double click on it, the folder will open. Again, you can bring back your cursor on the folder and you right click. The prompt box will come. So this dialog box has the word open on top. You click on the word open, the folder will open again. Now we are inside the folder. So this is the folder, and you are seeing our folder is telling us that this folder is empty. Indeed, the folder is empty because now you are seeing there is nothing in it. So what we are going to do, this is the place where we are going to host our database file. We are going to create a database file here. Remember, the database file, it's the name as database. We are going to create, and creating the file within the folder, we follow the same procedure we followed when we was creating the folder. Again, you come on your mouse, you right click, the dialog box will come with the word new. You go to word new, you click on the word new to stabilize the side dialog box, and within these folders, these files, because now below there is a word shortcut, but below the horizontal line, below shortcut, everything you are seeing down, these are files, different files that belongs to Microsoft Suite, Microsoft Office Suite. Microsoft Office Suite is the suite that comprises very many software applications that are used in offices. Mention them like database, you see documents, access, PowerPoint. So this is a Microsoft Office suite. So within these files, we are going to look at, we are only interested in Microsoft Access database, and it's the one here on top. That's what we are going to click on it to start our magic. Now our file is here, but we have to give it a name, because remember, in the question, those one who, for every data you are creating, every database you are creating to be with the name in order to be organized. So we are giving the name. To give this file a name, you right click and the dialog box will appear. Like you come here on the file, you select it, you right click, the dialog box will appear. You look for the word rename at the last, the second last and dialog box. So you click on the word rename, the blue color will appear, or the blue color will select the text within the file. So from there, you just start writing. Let me call it G in capital G for S, like that. So to open it, click on your mouse and you open. Now it has launched. The Microsoft Access database has launched. We are now inside the database. Remember, this is our database. This is the name of our database. The name of the database is the same of the database file. So when you are if the question says that create a database and save it as so, meaning that name you have been told to save on as the name of the database is the name you are going to write on that database file within the folder. So once you open the database, the Microsoft Access database, this is the way it looks like. This is its interface. But always remember, the moment it opens, remember to enable content to remove that yellow horizontal bar. So this is its interface, and we are seeing this is the database name, and this is the file location. That if you go to your computer, you have to follow this file path to get the file the database we have created. In Microsoft Access database, what we have is tabs. The moment you open the Microsoft Access database, you land on tabs. This is the tabs: file, home, create, the external data, database tool, help, and here you can search for the tabs you are interested in if it's not there. That's why it's saying like it can help you to get some tabs from other sources. So you see, this home tab has a layout, a ribbon. This is its ribbon with different icons in different groupings. It has a grouping of view, it has a grouping of clipboard, it has sort and filter records. So these are groupings, and you can see even there is a line that separates this grouping and this one. But now, what is interesting now, this database has opened, but it does not give us access to these icons. Why? Because Microsoft Access Database has its command tab that gives the command to everything as than the features, the characteristics of database. So database is always starting with creating a table. There is nothing you can do in database before creating the table. That's why we have not created a table, and the database is not giving us access to these icons. It will give us access after creating the table. Now, it also has this sidebar. This sidebar this is the place where everything you do here, all projects you will be working on, let's say tables, queries, forms, this is where they will be displayed. Once you save it, it comes here. Even if you close it from here, so this one will keep it. We have a file. So this file, its importance is just to give you more alternatives, more way. Because now if you are interested in creating another database, this is where you will come and start with it, and start with the blank database. Will create a new database. So this one is just to open for the previous database you have been working on, or the work you have in your database. So this one, it is save as. Save as means you save the file, but again you want to duplicate it to get like two files, or to get two database. Unlike save, you once you save the file, you cannot. That's why our file is saved. This G4S database is saved, and the access does not give us access to this save, because our database is already saved. What we can do, we can save it as, meaning we can duplicate it. We find that we have two database. That is it. So another one is options. This is where you can go and see the version of your database, because for us now we are using Access 2007, 2016, like whatever, everything that you want to understand about the application you are using, that's where you go. Let us come back here, account feedback. So that's what I can talk about the file. Now let us click on the general command tab of the database, which is create. Now you see, because it's the general command, it's the one that commands database, that tab called create, it's the one who commands database. That's why now the moment you click on it, database gives you access to its ribbon icons, because now this is the ribbon, this is the tab. When you click on external data, it opens up its ribbon. Let us go back to create. Now when we are in creating tab, we are interested in tables, queries, form. Are you seeing forms and reports? But forms and reports are not accessible. Why? because we have nothing here. You cannot create a form when you have nothing in the database. So let us create. We go to table design and we put in some few things and we start studying about this one, because what we are going to look at, we are going to look at field names, we are going to look at data types, description, and the properties. So here let me put some field name. Field name is the title of the column. That's what I can say. The title of the column is the field name. About field name, this is what we mean. This is the field name, the title. Are you seeing this one? The title of the column. This is the column. In database is called the field. This is the field. Let me push it up and you see it very well. So this one, this is the field. Even this one is the field. This one is the field. Now, the title of this column or of this field is what we call field name. That's what the other side. I wanted just to give you the example of a field name. Here, I want to insert some field names, and we see. We begin with the first name. We go to last name. We go to membership number. We go to date of birth. We go to age. We have membership fee. It's in shillings. We have fully paid. So those are field name we have currently to use as an example, to use them and understand how these things happens in database. Now, after filling in field names, we have to assign data types. Now, the table will become fully completed when we have assigned data type and even assign a primary key on appropriate column that is supposed to be identifying our database. How do we assign data type? You bring your cursor here where there is a word data type. You see all the fields we have named, they have short text. Short text is also a data type. But when you have not assigned any data type on the field, the default name for data type, the Microsoft Access uses the short text because it combines numbers and texts. But it does not, the character does not exceed 255. That's why it is giving you short text on each and every field, because it's default. So for you as a database creator, what you have to do, go and analyze the data you are going to fill in the field or to record in those fields, how that data looks like. For example, I'm going to use this data, but we are seeing here we have only letters. Names are made up of only letters, even here. But here on membership number, I have numbers on. Here I have date of birth. This is age, and the age is presented by numbers. This is currency. This is money. This is yes or no. Yes or no. So after understanding the nature of my records, that's when I will understand which data type should I use. Let us go back to our table. Looking at this table, when you click here on the drop down arrow, that arrow you were seeing pointing down, there is already predefined data types that are supposed to be assigned in the table. We have short text, told it comprises of numbers and letters, but the records that are going to be filled in that column should not exceed 255 characters. We have long text. This long text is like the column may include only text, like we're going to put like some records of very many characters which are exceeding 250. We have a number here. This number is only assigned on the column that is going to contain records that are presented in numericals, in numbers, numericals only. Large number. This one is assigned on the column that has more than, or that has large character, numerical characters, large numerical characters. Let's take an example: finance records. Because you find that someone is like has on account billions of money, so that's when you assign large number. That the numerical, we have a date time, date stroke time, it is only assigned on date of birth. We have currency. This currency is assigned on the column that contains money, period, nothing. We have auto number. This auto number is presented on the column that will automatically increase, that will add up by itself. No need of putting their characters. We have yes or no. More so, it is assigned on dates where the column of credit, paid, not paid. That's when we use that. OLE object. This one is a data type that can enable column in database to store records that are stored in binary bits like images, audio, because for them they are stored in MBs. That is the column. If the column, like that's why you find in some database there is columns where you put the image of the customer or the image. So the data type that assigned on that column is this one. Hyperlink. This is used on the column that is going to host the link that connects a database on external websites. This attachment. So this attachment, as you hear, it's assigned on the column that will be used to attach documents. Let's say example records in schools, when a student has medical records, so they can be attached in this column in her database. Details. Calculated fields. So calculated fields typically used to store values that are driven from formulas based on other fields in a database. For example, if you have a database that contains installment, especially in schools, that a student paid 100, paid in installment, schools that allows installment, like a school can say we allow installment in 3 phases. So that column that will be created in database to calculate the total payments of installments can be assigned as a calculated field, because you are going to use a formula that however installments are made, that field will automatically calculate those and gets the total out, or the total installment payments. So here, lookup wizard. This one is most predetermine the records that will be used in a database. Let's take an example of this one. This one was created using the lookup wizard, because let us go into it and we see how it works. You see, the moment you click on it, it brings you the dialog box with more instruction telling that I want to look up fields that gets the values from another table, or I will type in the values that I want. The moment you select this one and you click next, it will give you the space or the dialog box where you will predetermine the records you want to appear. The moment you fill in, let's say there is a column of female and a male, So you don't want to write, when you are filling data, you don't want to write those things there. It's female, male. Just you want to select from a drop down boxes. So this one VLOOKUP must be used to create combo boxes that contains the predetermined values when we are filling in that the one we select on when we are filling in records in database. Because here, if you put here one female, here second you put male, and you click next for more commands, the moment it accepts, meaning in the column it's going to create a drop down arrow whereby a user will just click on the drop down arrow and select. Like here, we just click here and we select. So that is the use of. So now let us assign data type on every column. Date, stock time, here age, it's a number, here membership number, it's a number, here fee, it's a currency, here prepaid, it's yes or no. Now we are done with assigning data type. So description is used to define the nature of data which are in the field or in the column. Let us say that we are saying that fee, and you say this is the money paid by the members, paid by the members to secure their membership, many of the data. So this one is always done to ease the interpretation, of the work. Now, this is the use of description option. Again, we are now going to finalize field property. So, with the field property, it has a lot. Field property has a lot. And everything you are seeing here, it has its use in database, and it is used. So we are going to look for commonly used field commands, because these are commands that are giving guidelines to database. And for someone who is looking just to get fundamentals of database, this is very important to understand, beginning with the layout of what's here, because we have generals, have lookup. So let us begin with the general. General, it's the one that contains all the field property commands that gives the arrangement, organization, and the commands. We have here field size. So this field size, as I told you, when here it's short text, it shows you here what the number of character that it can contain. Meaning, if here you have assigned short text, the records that you are going to put in that column should not exceed 255. That is the size, the size of the field, the size of the records that should be contained. We have format. So format, the use of format, or what the format does in the database, has shillings. If I want to put shillings in this data type that we shall be inserting in, I use this one. I use format. We use a format to give, to change the appearance of the records in the field. We have input mask. So input mask just allows the specification of field of the data patterns, how the data looks like, how the data will be entered in the records. Take an example of the telephone number. If you want the telephone number to begin with the country code, this is where you command it from. If you want it's what we call input mask. So we have another one, this one, default value. So the default value, it is allows the data to be entered automatically. There is no need of putting 1, 2 like your number. No, this default time. If you want the data to be put automatically, this is where you command. We have validation rule. Validation rule is the command of the numericals. Take an example. If we want to limit the amount of money, limit the amount of membership fee that someone to become a member of G4S should not pay below 50,000. This is where we shall do. which this one I've put it in default value should be here. Now, after putting that one, you come in validation text and you write the text that you want or the message that you want the user to receive when she or he has violated the rule of the database. You can say that the fees is limited not below 5,000, 50,000. Meaning, the moment someone violates this law, this rule, this message will appear on the phone, whatever, on our screen. So that is the use. We have required. So here, required, I think this one required, mine is no. But if it is set yes, the field cannot be left empty or blank there when you are entering data in the table. The moment you put required yes, the field cannot remain blank. We have allow 0 to be considered as a valid entry, meaning even space accounted 0. That is it. We have here encoding. Yes, we have encoding. This we have here Unicode X compression. This one, if set yes, it saves the space, the storage space, because for it it's worker to encode like the large records and save it in a small space. We have IME mode. IME mode, it is input method editor mode. This is used to enter data characters in complex languages. You know the computer uses very many languages, but in a database, if someone is not using Latin alphabetic order like A, B, format of a Latin characters, and that person is using like Asian characters, let's say the Chinese characters, the Indian, the Arabic characters, so you have to enable this MIME mode in order for the database to understand what you are feeding in as records, because it's the only this mode that can interpret such characters. It's the same as these sentences. It can modify the sentences of such characters. Text alignment, this one is very simple. It's used to align the characters in a horizontal format, as you are seeing here. Although everything is horizontal. If this one was not there, then we would have found maybe others are going vertical. So that is it for the interface. Now, after assigning the data type and understanding the field name, these field names, we are going to understand them more when we are working on queries, because this is where we shall be focusing on in our future videos loading. Now, after assigning a data type on the table, in order for the table to be created effectively, you have to assign a primary key. How do we assign a primary key, and what is a primary key? A primary key is this icon below the design tab of the creating the table. This is the primary key where you are seeing my cursor is going. This is what we call a primary key. But what is its importance? What is the use of a primary key? A primary key is used to uniquely identify the data in the column. Meaning its importance when it is in data, when the moment you assign a column with a primary key. It means you cannot duplicate data within that, that database. It will tell you that what you are entering is already existing in the database. It will never allow the duplication. That's why it's only assigned on the column or the field with that records that does not duplicate themselves. Let us take an example of this. Our record. So these records, when you look at all these fields and the records, which record can support your primary key? Remember, the primary key should be assigned on the data or on the column that has data which cannot duplicate itself. Let us take an example of those data. We have a telephone number, email number. We have automatic numbering 1 to 1,000. Any identity number, student's number. That's why you were saying those things are unique. You possess it, like you find a student or a person. When you go through it, we can see the primary key is appropriately assigned on this membership number. So we go back at our table and we assign a primary key here. To assign a primary key, you bring a cursor and you click on the column where you want to put a primary key. Thereafter, you go on the primary key and you click on it. After clicking on it, even you will see the key icon on that column. After that, you save. We are now on the final stage of creating the table. You give the name of the table. If you're a student, even the name of the table will be in the question. You give the name of the table. Let us call it record as an example. Thereafter, you save. So, I think after saving, our record is now here. Even if we close this page, we shall remain with our table. Once you click on it, the table will open. And this is our table. So if we are to look at closely on this table, we are seeing the table is well arranged and it's now in its view of filling in data. So that's what we had today. And next time we are coming in with creating a table and queries and how to fill in data in the table using the datasheet view. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.